Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. And off the press this morning, what is making the headlines? I'm about to find out. My name is Felicity Ezewuike. I won't be doing this alone. I got the social commentator, Sam Adeleke.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming in.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Last day of January.
Yes. That's 1st of January. That's 1 day's gone by so quickly.
So quickly. 2019 is just flying before our very eyes. We have a couple of papers this morning. We have the New Telegraph, we have the Vanguard, we have This Day, Punch, The Nation, and of course Sport. So we'll just get right on to it. The New Telegraph has quite a number of screamers here. We'll start with this one. The big headline, it should be on your screen in a moment. Adeleke will not be caged by any cabal. That's according to former President Obasanjo. That's it there on your screen. It has two riders, I think. Says ex-VP will be better president than Buhari. And Oshomole rebuttal. Ex-president sold Bakassi for Nobel Prize. Interesting. And then this one that's been making the rounds, Prophet hypnotized me to sell female pants. We've heard of lynching and stuff like that. Sam will talk a bit about that. Panic over bomb scare on Air Peace Abuja flight. And then presidency drama as party insists Reverend King on death row is candidate. I don't know how many persons remember Reverend King from the death sentence and all of that. He's on death row. He was found guilty of murder and he's been put forward as a presidential candidate. Appeal court to Onoge, you must face CCC trial. Let's just get right to it.
Right.
Let me allow you pick. Which of these headlines would you want to touch on?
The most ridiculous is that of the prophet that hypnotized the lady just to steal her pants. I think this is becoming really cantankerous in society. And we need to nip it in the bud quickly, because if the house of God, so to speak, which is supposed to be a safe haven for people looking for spiritual help, is now a place where people are being taken advantage of. I think the police and the security agency should really swing into action and ensure that this prophet in particular is prosecuted, because there has actually been no scapegoats so far.
It's
we only hear stories, we only see videos.
That we keep having, it's even in the papers already. We see people allegedly almost being lynched for stealing female panties. It's really embarrassing to even talk about it.
We shouldn't just talk. We should ensure that the security agencies nip this in the bud. People should be arrested, prosecuted, and a public show of shame should be conducted, just as this has been done today. It's important that this should not be encouraged. It's not good.
Presidency drama. A death row member.
Reverend King, the general overseer of the Christian Praying Ministries. This man should have been dead a long time ago, because he burnt a girl alive, a member of his church, and this is someone who still wields influence. In fact, he has a spot on the front cover. You know, things like this helps to fuel that idea that the law is only applied to the weak and vulnerable, because this man should not even have a place in society as we speak. He's a death row candidate, is somebody who has put a family to sorrow, you know. So seeing this and people vouching for and a party registered by INEC is also putting this forward. I think it is not good.
The Nation is all next. It should be on your screen in a moment. 2 dead, scores injured in Lagos tanker fire. That's re-echoed there. The August case is also re-echoed. Charges against Babashir is also there. Let's see. You have NCC subscribers lose 12.5 billion naira. That's something coming from the NCC at the very top of the Nation newspaper. You see right there, $29 million grant to fight TB. Okay, we have at the back page of the Nation editorial notebook, and again, it's still on Onoge. You might want to go read it. Hardball is also on between Saraki and Onoge. So which of these would you like to touch on for a minute?
The EFCC's charges against Babachir Lawal and the former NIA boss. I think what the people or what the public is saying now is that why is this coming right now? That the elections are here and the government wants to look good. That is why they're filing the charges right now, because people have been calling for their prosecution months ago, especially when the scandal broke, where the former SGF allocated and approved some contracts to his own company or companies that he has interest in for grass cutting. And then also the NIA boss, the ex-NIA boss, the discovery of the millions of dollars at the Osborne Towers apartment. So, Nigeria is such a very interesting place whereby we castigate even when an action is taken, but also looking at the timing. But ultimately, the important thing is that justice should prevail, regardless of the aim or the motive. As long as these people refund this money, they're prosecuted, and somebody gets to pay for it, I think it is in order, regardless of the timing, either close to election or not.
Thank you, Sam, for your thoughts.
Thank you.
This is still Off the Press. We'll be back in a bit. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. We took that short break to go grab our sports analyst, Samson Oloyede, to come talk sports with us this morning. Thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure being here.
All right, we have the Vanguard Sports back page and, of course, Complete Sports. We just look quickly at Vanguard Sports, a couple of headlines here. Raul dangles Eagles jersey before under-20 players. And we also have CAF invites Amunike for under-20 AFCON. A little bit here about Onaze. I won't rush my recovery. Details inside of it. And then some headlines on this. Complete Sports. If you can switch that now, please. Complete Sports. Yes, there you are. Ihan Acho extends goal drought to 18 games. And then we have this one here. Samuel Kalu reveals EPL ambition. And then we have Arsenal in talks. Which of these headlines would you want to just quickly?
Well, quickly, a couple of them. You talked about, Raw dangling Eagles jersey to the under-20 players. It must be said that the under-20 players have their African Cup of Nations, in Niger Republic. It's starting this Saturday. So he said that he's seen them train, and the best players, from the team, he would invite them to Super Eagles. It's a good one, really. But he's inviting them for the matches against Seychelles. That's the Dead Rubber African Cup of Nations qualifier. And then the friendly match against Egypt just 3 days later. So it's a way of bringing in the new guys into the Super Eagles to replace the old legs that we have. And it must be said that for the under-20 players, it's an easy group for them. The group stages, they have Niger Republic to contend with. They have Burundi as well as South Africa. So they should be able to impress and get into the knockout stages. So I think that's a very good one. And regards Ihan Acho extending his goal drought to 18 games, at this stage, it's understandable that the focus will be on Nigerian players in terms of their form. As I said, we have a big competition, coming up, and that's the African Cup of Nations in June. So you really want to keep tabs with players, those that, that are foreign-based in terms of their fitness, their performances, amongst other things. So I think that's pretty much understandable. But he's finding it hard to get playing time, and I'm sure if he gets a good run, he will definitely start banging in the goals.
Fair enough. What about these Reds held at Anfield? Yeah,
that was yesterday night. That was Liverpool against Leicester City at Anfield. And it must be said that the match was a bit difficult for Liverpool in the sense that they got ahead, Sadio Mane within 3 minutes, and then they conceded. But they were probably unlucky with, a couple of referees' decisions. They had a penalty call on Naby Keita, which was waved off. They also had, a shout for a numerical advantage. Harry Maguire, who scored the equalizer, could have seen a red card when he chopped down Mane, but the referee also ignored that. So a couple of calls here and there. Is it 2 points dropped for Liverpool in this title race? It seems so, because if they had won yesterday, it would have been a 7 points lead at the top, and that's a 3-game, lead, because 3 games are 9 points. For City to be able to recover, that would have taken them 3 games. But it's a good one as well. They've been able to extend their lead to 5 points, and that's still within a 2-game range. They should be able to, keep it up, because at this stage they have to grind out results. And considering the fact that they have defensive injuries here and there, I think they did well.
Thank you very much, Samson.
That's a pleasure.
That's it on sports. But before we go, you know what we do. We take a look at the Mr. and Mrs. cartoon on the Vanguard newspaper. They always have a conversation. And this time the man is starting things off. He says, at the seminar, we're implored to help eradicate Lassa fever. Everybody's expected to take the exercise serious. And the wife, you know how she is, she's saying they can count me in. I know a lot of rats and promise to get rid of them, especially the ones with heavy makeup and artificial eyelashes. A little laugh never hurt no one. Have a lovely day. My name is Felicity Ezewuike.